Good morning, pregame crew. This is Charcoal Lori, and you're at the pregame show. I hope you're doing well. My voice is a little better this morning. I have some coffee and water, so we'll keep it going and keep it smooth for you. You are at the pregame show, and this is a show where I get you ready for the trading day. And my goal is to get through about 25 charts in 25 minutes, very efficient. And if I can do a few chart requests before and after, that's the lagniappe. In Louisiana, the lagniappe is extra. So I'll officially get started in 9 minutes when this clock down here says 8:21 a.m. That will be when I get started. It's December 21st, 2022, 8:21 a.m. Eastern, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time. Welcome. I'm going to do an audio visual check and then I'm going to say hello to my friends. Hi, Casey, Luciana, Greg, Topher, Matthew, Mal, Keith. Hey, Lisa, Mary. Hey, brother. What up? Hey, Paul. I don't think I've seen you in here. Red Devil. Hi, Intuitive Guy, Rachel, Sir Matthew Bask. Hopefully today I'm a little more linear and succinct. My baby turned 21 yesterday and he's in another state in Nevada. He went out with his friends, and so his birthday gift for me was Uber money. So this mom was up early this morning, making sure he made it home safely. I should sing some jazz. Yeah, I would run all of you off completely. So I guess if my voice sounds smoky, you can hear me, and I'm hoping you can see my screen. We're getting a little runner right now on the market. I'm not super impressed by it yet. This is an early call, a really early call, and we'll go over this officially in 8 minutes. But this could be the beginning of an inverse head and shoulders pattern on the 6 and 8 hour. And I'm finding most clarity on the 8 hour on the majority of my charts, just an FYI. That's not a standard time frame that I typically use, but I'm going to use the time frame that gives me the most clarity. 4 hour is just not doing it for me this morning, and usually the 4 hour does it for me. Hey, Jerry, thank you. Hi, Bask. Hi, Anthony Sal. Hi, Chris. So, Chris, when I go over SPY, that is SPXL. So here's just an overall, I don't like the word lesson because it sounds like you're talking down to someone. I'm definitely not trying to say this is how the only way it can be done. But SPXL is a 3 times derivative of SPY, so 3 times bull shares. So it's going to theoretically look like SPY, but it has decay in it. SPY doesn't. So if I'm trading SPXL, this is how I do it. I'm like, okay, the most likely scenario is a 6 hour bear flag. If the market loses its 5 minute, well, actually I would do it the opposite way. But if you're wanting to enter long, essentially use SPXL for your stop. Let's say you entered this morning. Your stop on SPXL would be 62.25, right below that area. That's the only reason that I look at leveraged ETFs. Otherwise, you have lots of decay in it and you're not going to get accurate readings. So I will be going over ES in detail in just a few minutes. I feel great. I actually have a ton of energy. I've been getting elective IVs of all kinds of vitamins, and they got me running around the house at 1 a.m. in the morning. And cleaning, I don't know what's wrong with me. All right, let me go back up to the top, see if there's any chart requests. We'll get started in 5 minutes with indices, crypto, commodities, and movers and shakers of the day. Happy winter solstice. We have snow falling off our roof in sheets right now. It's warming up a little bit for us. 35 is warm. All right, any other chart requests? I don't see any more yet. I did want to show y'all Ford. We talked about Ford yesterday. Fascinating chart. Very interesting chart. So on the weekly, we have this EQ, and we even have the EQ on the monthly. 1113 is the level we called out yesterday morning. Yesterday it hit 1112. I didn't have my alert set, but you see that little orange triangle there? It's set now. If it comes back near that sucker, I would be looking for a long for my dad's account in Ford against 1113. This is one of the neatest monthly EQs that I've seen. Hey Jorge, how are you? Okay, IIPR, a little MJ REIT, potential monthly bear flag. Did they have earnings or something? What happened here? Okay, so November, that's way back. It has low liquidity in general. I'm sure it has even more low liquidity in after hours, so careful. 102.80 is support. So you got a double bottom there. That's interesting. So if you are looking for a swing saying, I want to nail this weekly high or low, I want to nail it if we get one, I think this is the location at 102.80, and you got within 36 cents of it. And I would give it at least $1 wiggle room because of the liquidity issues. It trades 400,000 shares on average. So I like a pullback buy against 103, and I would put my stop around 102. And Paul, I love that joke. Okay, MSOS. Yes, I'm sipping coffee, y'all, because I want to keep my voice nice and strong. Pure domination. RSI is 27 on the daily. And if you're joining us from TradingView, welcome. This is the second day of the show on TradingView. If I did it correctly. If not, well, we'll catch you next time. So on MSOS, we have dropped approximately 54%, and we're just now getting oversold on the daily. That shows you how methodical the bears have been walking down price. Look at this EMA. This is an algo sell. Anytime it touches the 8 EMA, sell it. Sell it, sell it, sell it. Just algorithmically, bounces are for shorting. I will try to tell you at least 2-3 times a week, if not daily. When we are looking to buy a reversal, we want to buy on this side, not this side, because you don't know how much further it has to drop down. Yeah, if you could hit the like button, that'd be great. So I get asked, I'm not kidding, and it doesn't aggravate me because every time I'm asked a question, it helps educate me too. And when I have to articulate the answer in technical terms, it imprints it on my brain a little more. I get asked at least 15 to 20 times a day a couple of questions. The first question, so like Nat Gas yesterday. Is this a good place to buy? Let me pull this back down. I lose my bearing if I have too much covered up. Here on Nat Gas, is this a good location to bottom fish Nat Gas? And what would be the sign to get in? And it's always a shorter term time frame pattern change. So if you're looking for that 5-minute trend change, that 2-minute trend change to say, okay, this long idea could work, you need some type of trend change confirmation with price and with volume. Price, volume, price, volume. And that is your biggest tip of the day. The other question I get asked the most second to that question. First question, how do I get in? How do I know this is the bottom? How do I know this is the top? Trend change confirmation on shorter term timeframes with volume. That's the answer. Second question I get asked, should I sell? I will always tell you to sell. If you're asking me, then you're doubting it. Your position size is possibly too big, or your profits are good, or you're in a terrible loss. No good signs come from you asking me, should you sell? It's okay if you ask me, I'll give you my opinion, but I will always answer yes, at least partially. So if you're asking yourself, should I sell? That's the time to scale out at least partial. So those are my 2 biggest nuggets I can give you. And if that didn't earn me a like button, I don't know what will. I don't know what I can do. Do the Watusi? Okay, let's get started with the pregame show. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. And what I do here every morning is I go over the daily weighted table. This is a table that I've been using for a couple of months. It's an easier way for me to share data with you in a more objective manner. Remember, technical analysis is an art more than it's a science, and that frustrates people. It frustrates people a ton, actually. But there are some technical rules we can live by that help keep us in check. So I show you this, and then I have notes that are off screen that you can't see. I copy and paste those for TCG members when I'm done. And these are just notes I've been typing since 1 a.m. For what I'm going to cover today. All right. First time ever read? I've only said something good the first time, or is today your first pregame show? Funny. Yesterday, I spent 5.5 hours preparing for that show, telling you that I was long and I was all over the place with my illness and trying to do the trading view. And it was like, man, I've worked so hard and I totally flubbed that presentation, but ain't that life? And Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah wherever you are. I just hope you have a wonderful holiday season, either just being with friends, family, your fur baby, your real baby, whatever it is. Okay, now let's get started with indices. So on indices, I mentioned that the 6 and 8 hour is giving me the most clarity. I'm just going to stick to 6 hours since we're on that time frame, so I don't have to pull up the 8 hour. But we could, not guaranteed. How did that flip? 1 second. Move to... It's like, come on. These things can't get out of order. Okay, now all of the world is righted. So potential inverse head and shoulders forming on the 6 hour. And again, it's hard for me to manage chat. So if I miss your comments, I am so sorry. So we have a potential inverse head and shoulders, and we have enough room for a higher low on ES. Your key resistance is 3899, 3900. That's kind of easy to remember. And your key support is 3800. Okay. This old girl is telling you, I'm laying down the law this morning. Life can be this easy. As long as we're stuck between this level, I just expect chop sideways. And we may be chopping sideways, waiting for, what do we have this week? We have something big coming up. PCE and GDP. So tomorrow we have GDP and Friday we have PCE. It would not shock me in the least if we pulled back today and stayed within this range here of 3,800 to 3,900 as we wait for those larger data points. Happens all the time. So be careful, don't get chopped up. Sideways is a direction right now. Bulls are showing a little bit more prowess. NASDAQ has to join them. Absolutely has to join them. And they're not. Do you see the difference with this 6 hour and ES? They're not even close to a neckline. That's not an inverse head and shoulders. That's just a dribble up with these are bulls just barely trying, super apathetic. I wouldn't even tell you that they have a guaranteed higher low compared to 11,04350. They have not necessarily made enough room for that judgment call. ES, they have made enough room to say the most likely scenario is a higher low compared to 80350. Okay, the other level that I wanted to preach is the daily 50 MA. The daily 50 MA is overhead on ES. We have to be aware of it. And guess where it is? 388,925. Right where we are, like right in this area. It's overhead. That could be a problem for SPY bulls. It could be a problem, but right now they're running the table on shorter term time frames. The bears are just waiting for their opportunity to pounce and get some more meat off the bone. NASDAQ leading the way down is not a good look for ES. They need QQQ to participate in order to get some follow through on the bounce that they've started in pre-market. And remember, these bounces could be simply just short covering, where shorts are like, oh my gosh, they bought a few contracts. I've got to cover now. And then if they promptly give this morning's move back, so you see this huge move up, huge. If they start retracing more than 50% of this, you can automatically tell yourself, hey, that was most likely short covering. And short covering weakens a market. So we'll see how they how they behave up here. Now they're up on stage. So bulls have taken over. They're up on stage. Now let's see how they behave. Are they believable? Or are they going to get knocked off stage again? Okay, more coffee. We have consumer sentiment and existing sales at 10 a.m. this morning. I can't tell you how often we'll get our trading day started and 30 minutes in, things reverse because data comes out. We're used to data coming out right now, an hour before the market opens. Well, this is two important pieces of information coming out after the market opens. And it would completely make sense for me for us to hit this 3890, 3900 area and then pull back down into that 6-hour inverse head and shoulders if NASDAQ is not playing along. That's probably the most important sentence I've told you today. All right, RTY. Thanks, MG. I appreciate you. And Merry Christmas, my friend. Happy holidays. Okay, so RTY, they have a chance at a 6-hour inverse head and shoulders. You see how it's early pattern recognition. We only have 2 body parts, but that's legit. It's not too legit to quit. That's legit. Has enough room for a higher low compared to 1730. Key resistance 1784.50. If RTY keeps showing this strength, I'm going to make note of that because we notice, and we've talked about it here probably once every 3 or 4 months. I've been remiss in reminding you of this. When IWM is large and in charge or is leading the way to the downside, market internals can get noisy because RTY has 2,000 names in it. SPY only has 500, and the Dow has 30. So their names, they don't get real spicy, but RTY can create a lot of noise on your market internals if IWM, the Russell, are leading the way to the downside or upside and give you false signals. So when IWM is flying or dropping hard, I minimize the importance of market internals. So that was another important sentence. Well, maybe this sickness and COVID, Omicron's connecting dots for me. Who knew? YM, super strong. Super, super strong. We have made... So look at this. We have a 6-hour higher high. These bulls are not playing around on YM. Now, the more likely scenario is a daily lower high, but they're not showing any signs of weakness right now. If anything, they are leading the charge. And that is why I have Caterpillar on my list today. Caterpillar is one of the prettiest charts I've looked at in a month. That's a big statement. Pretty from a long perspective. VIX. So VIX has lost the daily uptrend. I don't know that I can take a lot from that, y'all. That does give me a slight bull bias. Let's go look at our table. So these are disconnected inverse. They have been disconnected, but I plotted it today because it was so important losing that daily support. That's bullish for the market. Bearish for VIX, bullish for the market. So my score for the day for market bears is 94.5. These potential 4-hour bear flags on a lot of these tech names, they gotta come through, or these market bulls are more likely to get, let's do a check in this pattern, ES in that box, ES potential, 6-hour IHS. So talk amongst yourself if you don't understand what this table is, and we have people in the room that will help you. But basically, this is just an arbitrary, this is a subjective document that has some objectivity, and these weightings are my arbitrary assignments to how important I value these pieces of data. And this is how I get my sequencing and how I get my thesis. So I was talking to my parents always ask me about trading, my husband, and we talk about it. And I finally came up with the best analogy of how I could explain what I like about trading and what trading is and where I leveled up. What was the part where I hit the next level of trading? And am I at the level? Heck no. I can't even see where I need to be because I have a lot of leveling up to do. But my biggest level up for this year is recognizing the sequencing of events and how important Bitcoin may be or may not be, or how important NASDAQ is versus RTY. And then sequencing all of that data, who's leading, who's laggard. And this is the part of the LSAT test, analytical reasoning. They have 5 sections. Yeah, 4 sections. And this was the part of the law school admission test that I liked when I was in college and graduated. I took the test a few times and I loved this section. If this isn't trading, I don't know what is. Understanding the basic structure of a set of relationships. And I think that's the biggest thing that Dan has added to TCG and our content in the last 4 years is correlations. The biggest add has been correlations. And then ratio charts. And then, he keeps building and building, and all sectors at low of day, that's a trending down day, all at high of day. Look for your trending days. So all of these inferences based on the data presented. And what are the relationships? What's the sequence? What is the if-then logic? If that is not trading, I don't know what is. So I thought that'd be a cool thing to share with you if you wanted to go look at that and say, how could I level up? Are you understanding the basic structure of relationships with the US 10-year and the dollar? If you're trading the US 10-year or dollar, you need to understand how they work together or differently. All right. Aw, that's kind. Okay, so I've been soapboxing this morning. Bitcoin has not proven a darn thing. Daily higher high, whoop whoop. You're still not over the daily EMAs. Hourly is threatening to lose those EMAs right now. It did not get the memo that we're going up, that the market's going up. It didn't get the memo. So Bitcoin is a laggard this morning to the overall market. And if you remember yesterday morning, Bitcoin was a leader. It was showing us, it was our one glimmer of hope yesterday. If you go back and look at the show, Bitcoin was the only green I had on this table. That was it on this column. It was the only one I had. And now it's leading to the downside. So is it a laggard or is it a canary? And it could be a canary. Look at this daily weighting. These bulls look hot. They look super hot. Like you bring them home to mom. They're on fire right now. But they still have a lot of work to do on larger term time frames. Don't get it twisted as to who's in charge of this market. Ethereum, also weak. We did get that daily higher high. We did get that lost audio. It shows that it's working for me. Okay, we'll see. Let me know if anybody else lost audio. It could have just blinked out for a second. That happens. There are almost 300 of you watching and only 106 likes. If y'all could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. Thanks, MG. Okay, we have a 4-hour double bottom on Ethereum. We're holding this 21 EMA and this EQ. Ethereum bulls have been putting on slight show compared to Bitcoin, but we're losing it on shorter term time frames. Still a potential 2-week bear flag. Okay, I'm going to drink a little coffee. Thank you, Tammy. How about you put a 1 in the live chat? Put a 1 if you're done with your Christmas shopping. I'm just curious. I just ordered my last, I think, pajamas for my son this morning. I think I got all the 5 kids covered and everybody else and their dogs. Okay, gold. Gold, we're right up here at this 1829.60 resistance. We hit 1829.50. We came within 10 cents. Oh, you go, Casey. You're done. Put a 2 if you're not done. All right. So we're trending up on gold. Bulls have control of this chart. If you ask me, you show me this chart and you tell me this is a daily chart on any name, I will put it in the swing report within 5 seconds. This is one of my favorite patterns, this trampoline pattern. So gold is up here squished against the weekly MA. Ooh, a lot of y'all are done. Squished up against the weekly EMA, 50 MA. It's not good, but this chart, this 4-hour chart is a potential 4-hour bull flag. So I wouldn't be messing with those gold bulls this morning. I'm not saying I'd be buying up here, but I definitely wouldn't run in front of that bull train. So Oil has some strength this morning. XLE will have to take leadership role this morning. If we go back to the daily table. So here, XLE I gave a green to, and that's it. By the way, Hang Seng and DAX are both green. But XLE was the only one that was green of our major sectors. So XLE is going to have to put in some work today. 75.80, you tell them, Tammy. 75.80 support. We have plenty of room for a pullback hourly higher low. We have oil inventory at 10:30 a.m. this morning. Nat gas with that beautiful bounce. My friend in DC that plays the cello, I think that's what you said you play. I hope you got this long that we talked about right back here. That was such a great bottom fish. So we did give back a little too much. Bears will be waiting up here at 557 and 559. Odds still favor a 4-hour lower high. So NG, Nat gas bulls are not out of the woods yet, and they have inventory tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Apple. Look at that. So 6-hour, 8-hour. Do y'all see the 8-hour? You're in Mexico, Norma. Hi. Hola. So Apple, potential 8-hour bear flag. Apple has so much work to do. So right now, the way I see it, for the market to get over 3,900, consumer confidence and how existing home sales in an hour and 13 minutes are going to have to come in perfectly. And by perfectly, I have no idea what that is. I can tell you what the expectation is, but fundamentally, I don't even care to read it. No. I'm just letting you know the market has to get a boost in order for Apple to clear this chart up, because this is a potential bear flag, and we're not oversold on the 8-hour. We're not oversold on the daily. We're not oversold on the 4-hour or the hourly. Bears have room and meat left on the bone with RSI. Amazon. Amazon, do you see any difference there? Nope. 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 Nvidia is coming from a stronger uptrend, but that ain't cute. Nope. Tesla, somebody's got their finger stuck on the sell button. And I'm sure that finger is Elon's, whoever's selling for Elon. Yesterday's notable weakness, down 8%, selling the bejesus out of this name. So this will be, and I'm not calling a bottom, this will be like trying to put a beach ball underwater. Right now, someone's able to hold the beach ball underwater with Tesla. When they take their finger off this button, I would expect at least a 10% pop, and possibly over a couple of days as shorts get squeezed. But there is zero, and I mean zero, dinero, zero sign of that happening right now. When a chart shows you who they are, believe them. So Nvidia is a top fish. So here's the story of the day. Let me shorthand this. Get on that hourly chart, get your last hourly resistance, and the levels are shorts as long as the high of yesterday is holding. You could look for top fishing plays. The market's bouncing back a little bit better here. It took a little breather. But again, 3,900 is the key resistance. Amazon is a top fish as long as it's below 86.61. So, Great Wall of Louisiana. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation as to what all my colors are. Let me tell you, I'll go ahead and give you cliff notes. The yellow line is the 50 MA. The hourly 50 moving average, I like to call the Great Wall of Louisiana. Now let's go back to Apple. Is Apple through the Great Wall of Louisiana? Nope. Amazon? Nope. Nvidia? Nope. Not even close. Tesla, what's an hourly 50 MA? AMD has a little bit of relative strength here. Let's see what AMD, I was looking for a top fish on AMD, but just looking at that relative benchmark, that kind of changes my mind. Caterpillar is strong. I just wanted to flip through these real quickly. Did JPM hit our little magic box yesterday or what? Meta, we're fighting here. Homebody, that's exactly what, every time I say Great Wall of Louisiana, you could say Camp 4 of Everest. So it's Meta's fighting up here at the 200 MA. Microsoft, is it through the 50 MA? Nope. These tech names are dragging us down. Okay, so now I'm going to go through, I went through Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla. Let's go back to the Queen of the Mountain setups. I like a top fish setup against 6606 on AMD. Caterpillar, this is a beautiful chart. This is so pretty. Look at holding that 50 MA so delicately. Trampoline pattern. It is beautiful. So if you wanted to look for a long, I'd fill it, but I would want to pull back buy. INMD. INMD, when I was looking at it this morning, it's $35.40, so it's already bounced. They got to upgrade to $44. Yes, they're dealing with the hourly 50 MA, but look at this daily chart. This is kind of cute, and I've gotten these lasers before by NMed. They're good. You see how we held yesterday? We hit 34.50. We held that support at the daily 50 MA. Location, location, location. Just like real estate, it's super important in trading, and that's some beautiful real estate right there for a bottom fish against 34.25, looking for a daily high or low on a day where we got to upgrade only if the market can stay holding up. Hit that like button, please. VIX is still giving up the ghost. Okay, JPM, we nailed it yesterday. If the market, of course, is turning green at open, I would just stay away from this trade. All of these short ideas, I'd stay away if the market is staying green. But I want, not but, and 30 minutes after the market opens, everything could change. So even though I'm giving you setups, these setups may not come to fruition to the end of the day. They may not come to fruition at all. So the setups I give you are not always only at open, because I hear a lot, well, that setup you gave me didn't work. Well, yeah, it worked at the last half of the day. You know, we got 6.5 hours of trading, folks. So first 30 minutes, be very careful. That data coming out could change the look of things. Meta, I do like a top fish of 118.04 for a scalp, but I would want to be out of it after the first 30 minutes before that data comes out. And I set alerts. I've shown you how I do that. Microsoft, I like a top fish at 243.39, looking for those 6 and 8 hour lower highs. SMH is super weak. It's trying to get something going over 209.34. I wouldn't look. This was not on my Queen of the Mountain list. These are just the names I was looking at this morning. But it's trying to get something going. DX. Looks like they had some type of news event. Nope. Or I don't know it. It's a REIT. If I wanted a position in this, I'd have to wait for a pullback weekly high or low buy if you're looking for a swing. I would want a little bit more pullback to buy. Hey Mark, how are you? 13.14, 13.31 are your resistances. Support, low of yesterday, 12.77. Then we're looking down at 12.31. Oh, Nike was a big beat. It's helping the Dow. I think Nike is why YM looks like this. Look at that beauty. Nike is helping push up the Dow. It's beautiful. So we're through that resistance. 118.47 is your key resistance for the day. Did we beat that in after hours? No, we couldn't get through it. So double top at 118.47 and 118.28. Now let me give you the bull flag levels. 110.14 holding keeps a bull flag alive on the 4 hour. So a pullback buy could work. And I don't talk to y'all a lot about this. I've been mentioning it more lately. But typically, if I'm going to scalp something, VWAP, why you got to do that dotted line? You know I don't like that. I will turn on VWAP for pullback buys to the 5 minute. So a pullback buy here to the 5 minute VWAP could be a buy level. So I do that often. Okay, I'll do a couple more chart requests. Nope. I have time for, let's do one more chart request. 2-year and 10-year are dropping hard, but let's look at the dollar. Dollar's popping. That is pulling back pretty hard. That should help those NASDAQ names, US 10-year pulling back. This is what I was looking at on dollar this morning. I saw this tiny higher high, tiny lower low without follow through. I thought it kind of looked broadening formation. It's kind of playing out at the moment, as a matter of fact. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you could hit that like button, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that'd be great too, @CharkAlLori. I'm going to go copy my notes, put them in the room for TCG members, and get ready for this beautiful trading day. I hope you have a wonderful, safe day wherever you are. And smile and be nice to somebody. You never know what someone's going through, especially during the holiday season. Use stop losses.